Welcome back. In this session, we'll be looking at the differences between online and paper and pencil traditional high-stakes assessments. So let's start off by taking a look at some of those differences. With CMT Capped in its current state, it's a paper and pencil test, whereas with the next generation SBAC tests, they'll be online. Looking at CMT and CAP, students will be exposed to grade level content, whereas in the case of SBAC, they will be taking on content that may be above and or below their current grade level. With CMT and CAP, high achieving students tend to do very well. With SBAC, because it's adaptive, questions will seem harder for high achieving students, and conversely, with some of the students who have struggled before, they should reach a point where they are answering a good number of questions correctly as well. With CMT and CAP, time limits are in effect. There's a certain end to the testing window, whereas with SBAC, it's really at the discretion of the district as to how they want to set those time limits. And with CMT and CAP, there's a traditional sort of lockdown culture that takes into effect. When testing is taking place, nothing else is really going on. Whereas with SBAC, you can configure testing windows in a much more flexible manner. Based on these, let's take a look at some of the misconceptions that we've encountered in the past in talking with districts. First of all, we have to test our students all at once. Well, it's not really true. We can look at administering tests to be staggered with different groups of students testing on different days. We can also look at another misconception where students need to take the same test at the same time. Math and English language arts assessments can be administered at the same time on the same day. There's no need to administer the same subject assessment at the same time. And next, looking at students being able to copy off of each other, which has been a concern. Well, they're going to be given items in random order, and because they're adaptive, the response of one student to a question, if it's correct or incorrect, is going to perhaps gauge where they're going to go or determine where they go in terms of the next question that they see. So each path will be unique to each student. And the last misconception is that there's a set time limit for each test. Districts can determine a time limit, but SBAC does not impose this limit. It's really up to the district's discretion. Some more misconception that there needs to be a dedicated computer lab to administer the assessments. Whereas that's helpful, schools may take advantage of laptop carts or other types of mobile devices in groups to configure testing sessions. The next misconception is the practice test is all I really need to prepare my students and teachers. Well, the practice test provides example of the technology items, but it doesn't represent the scope of the curriculum to be assessed. Students need regular technology experiences and hands-on practice with curriculum materials just beyond, to take them beyond that practice assessment. And the last misconception is that any browser will work. SBAC has thought ahead and taken care of this. They've published specific browser requirements to address these concerns.